Hello, my brother and sister. It's nice to meet you through this video. My name is 강의나눔문의. Today, we are going to think together about Richard Elliott Friedman hypothesis of the upgraded document, whether it can be a theological alternative. Did Moses really write the first 5 books of the Bible from Genesis to Deuteronomy, what we call the Pentateuch? From a long time, the church had believed it was. But about 200, there was a huge storm in theological community. Julius Wellhausen's classic document hypothesis argued the Pentateuch was merely the result of mechanical combination of anonymous authors, anonymous data, JEDP. However, this view does not view the Bible as unified, inspired the Word of God. They think it's like a compilation of the writing by unidentified authors. This was a real confusion for believers. Recently, however, an upgraded version of the hypothesis of document has emerged, drawing great attention. It is a new document hypothesis proposed by Professor Richard Elliott Friedman, a renowned Harvard scholar. On Richard Friedman's books, Who Wrote the Bible? He says, the Bible was not the anonymous ghost of authors, but the hero of the great faith we know the Bible. For example, the Deuteronomy D document was written by Jeremiah the prophet, and the Leviticus P document was written by priests during the reign of King Hezekiah. How is it? This argument seems to have escaped theological stumbling block of Wellhausen hypothesis. In other words, it is also sound like claim that the Bible was created by anonymous editor who had nothing to do with faith. But is it really? Today, we are going to look at whether Friedman's suggestion is mere cosmetic change from Wellhausen hypothesis or new perspective on formation of the Bible. First, let's look at the 2 reasons why Friedman's theory was theologically positive evaluation. First, by estimating who the author was, the human author restored it as a subject of faith. The existing J, E, D, and P was just abstract symbol created by scholars. But Friedman connected the Deuteronomy to Jeremiah and his connected priest document to a specific historical site called the Reformation of Hezekiah. In this way, the formation of the Bible appears to be the product of the fierce theological effect to hold God's will in an Israeli faith community. Rather than simply dissecting document at the desk, the author is restored as a subject of faith. Second, he broke the old prejudice against evolution. Hausen thought this. He believed that the Israeli religions started from the lively Yahweh's faith J, but it evolved from the rigid legalism created by the priest. Friedman, however, argued that the priestly document P was used during the Hezekiah period, not after the captivity period. This paved the way for the various theological voices of the Old Testament to be respected and valued equally. Now, in this way, the upgraded document hypothesis seems like a wonderful bridge that eases the most destructive aspect of existing Bible criticism and allow faith and scholarship to come together. But is it bridge strong? From now on, it's really important. This appearance has changed. But let's look at whether Friedman's theory has fundamentally the same, or perhaps even more serious theological problem as the existing document hypothesis. First, this theory directly challenges Jesus' authority. the entire Bible uniformly connects the Pentateuch authority to Moses. And at the peak of that testimony is Jesus Christ. In John chapter 5 verses 46, Jesus asserted, "If you had trusted Moses, you'd have trusted me again, because he had written about me." Gleason Archer pointed out this issue very sharply. If Jesus says something untrue about the author of Pentateuch, our belief in his divine authority and his infallibility would be groundless. In summary, Friedman's theory tried to reduce theological rejection by changing the author of the Bible to the Old Testament figure. However, there is a problem, because in downgrade Jesus' testimony to something that is not historical. Second, Friedman's theory dismantled the unity of the Bible and even assumed a theological war between biblical authors. He argued that the brush of the false scribe that Jeremiah criticizes in Jeremiah chapter 8 verses 8 was P. material, the fake Torah written by an Aaron-affiliated priest. Everyone. What does this mean? I'm saying that the Bible is not a unified word written in harmony under the inspiration of God. I believe this is directly denial of the Orthodox Bible's theory of inspiration. If Wellhausen's hypothesis sees the Bible as a weave of different documents, Friedman degenerated into a battlefield for different theological factions. Finally, all of these arguments are still more of a reason novels based on an imagination. No scholar in the last 200 years has found a single original piece of the JED or P document. In this regard, R.N. Weibe criticized that the document hypothesis methodology itself stands on a strange and arbitrary assumption that the author must be consistent, but the editor leave the contradiction alone. After all, Friedman's argument is just another story that is a little more plausible than Wellhausen's hypothesis. I think there is a fundamental limitation that cannot be confirmed by historical fact based on objective evidence. Let me summarize today's story. Now, today, we've delved into a new document hypothesis, practically Richard Friedman argument. It seems clear that he made an attempt to fill the void left by Wellhausen hypothesis. But what do you think about it? It defies the core Christianity, degrades the inner unity of the Bible, and stands on a methodology that is still unproven. After all, the new document hypothesis shares the fundamental spirit of the criticism that seeks to the authority of the Bible under the rational reconstructions of humans. It's like a building that old and dangerous that need to be demolished, and it's just beautiful painted. It looks plausible on the outside, but the fundamental problem of poor foundation remain the same. What do you think? Do you think Friedman theory help you understand the Bible? Or is it a more dangerous compromise?